We have set up a Patreon. We have set up a Patreon.
Patreon, however you want to say it.
Patreon. We have set up a Patreon.
What that does is that just helps us get things like train tickets, petrol for you, and it helps us get to bigger and better guests. We'll be doing cool little things on there, like
nice little giveaways.
You can put in your questions, and then we can talk to you. So yeah, please go on to
www.patreon.com/overrated everything.
And we're back.
We're back, season 2. About time.
Yeah, about time we got back. It's been a minute.
Yeah, well, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
This is my first podcast as a married man.
Oh yeah.
And it's been 2 months, and she's still not left me. So
that's all right. You're doing something right. Just come back a little bit off the mic because you're doing that wrong. Yeah, there we go. That'll sound better for everyone. Sorry for Tomo being dead. I've got the earphones.
I'm just excited.
Yeah, man. So
as you can see by my face.
how's married life?
It's all right. Well, it's just the same, really. The sex has stopped.
Has it?
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Not chucking her. Not going for
the sex has stopped, but she's all of a sudden we've got a gardener, so I'm not sure what he's up to.
All right, okay.
Maybe he's taking the one for the team for me, bless him.
The milkman's disappeared.
No, it's good. It's good. We're still in honeymoon period, so we're like. Yeah, sort of in love more than ever, but
without sex.
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, but no, it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's good fun.
Yeah. How was the honeymoon?
It was ace. Loved it. Yeah, it was.
Show people out there. Saw some pictures on your socials and shit.
Yeah. It was really good. We did Miami and Mexico, and we got a Mustang, and yeah, it was good. Really, really enjoyed it. Come back with a tan. And
it's gone now.
2 stone or something. So
nice.
I'm struggling to get off. Eating biscuits at 9 a.m, but
fuck it, mate.
But that's not why we're podcasting.
No, it's not. We're not.
No.
We're back. We've had a little break. Obviously, like say, Tomo went and got hitched. I've been working a bit on something, so it's been hard to kind of get together.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why it's been hard to get together as well is obviously because we do it out of our own pocket.
Yeah,
which makes things like getting to London and stuff just that little bit harder, because obviously we've got things to, like, Tomo paid for a wedding, I've got a child and one on the way, and it's just hard to kind of to fork out, I guess.
It is, yeah, especially when we've got a million and one other things going on, because we're busy auditioning and you're filming and I'm filming on little bits and bobs, and it can get quite difficult, which is why the Patreon that we've set up helps out massively. And we know that there's a couple of listeners out there that have
there's people. I mean, I've got a thing here. There's people out there. So obviously some of these guys have disappeared off Patreon while we've been off air,
which is fair enough. I mean, it's I mean, we had a bit of time off, so you can totally get that.
But yeah, thank you to I'll just go through the list. Nicole, I won't mention last names, but you know who you are. Nicole, Joe, Philip, Steve, Michael, Mike. Don't like Michael. That one. Mike. There's Michael. Then there's Mike. Zoe, Laura, Christian. Turn your fucking phone on silent. Whoever that was.
That wasn't me.
I think it was me, actually. Shit. So thank you to all them people on Patreon and others, and please do continue your support. I know I've made that little jingle that you've probably heard at the beginning. But please do continue your support, and if you was a Patreon and you're not anymore, we're back now, so please, we do really enjoy you guys helping out, because the podcast is yours then that way as well, I think.
Yeah, and like I said, it just helps us in terms of getting to London and Manchester, because obviously you live in Manchester, I don't. And I've got a Range Rover Sport that I need to fill up. Yeah, right. Which isn't cheap.
You've got a bright orange.
I've got a bright yellow Astra. No, but it just does help. Just a little bit here and there. It all adds up, and then helps us get Airbnbs and things like that. So
and like I say, I do like the fact that it's because I give a few on Patreon and that, like, to other podcasts. Like, it feels like it's a bit yours then. Like when you're listening to it, it's right, it's a bit of mine. That's nice. But yeah, thank you. So that's that out of the way. So yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, feeling good, feeling fresh and ready. I'm in Manchester again.
Yeah,
I feel like this is my second home.
I think you should move here.
Me and Charlotte mentioned it. We do. We was just saying to Emily that every time we drive away from Manchester were like, oh, we could actually move here, couldn't we?
Mm.
But be a bit of a logistical nightmare at the minute. But hey ho, and I drove over yesterday.
Yeah, so we had 3 guests yesterday. First guest was the amazing Kelvin Fletcher. Who you will know as, most probably know mainly as Andy Sugden in Emmerdale.
Yeah, in Emmerdale, yeah.
Amongst other things. But I mean, you've known Kelvin for a little while, right?
Yeah, I met Kelvin the first time, was starstruck when I met him. Because the only time that I ever get starstruck is by soap stars.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think it's because they're in your front room 5 nights a week.
Yeah, because
I grew up watching Emmerdale, so when I met him, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Kind of threw me back a little bit.
Well, it was a random one because I've met Kelvin with my mate Jamie Shelton, who was in Emmerdale, who played Robert. I've met Kelvin on a drunken night out somewhere, I can't remember when, but it was random because I seen him outside Euston the other day, last week, outside Euston Station, and he came over and he was like, oh, I'm really sorry, because he was meant to do the show a while ago.
Yeah, he said it was going to come on a while ago.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm really sorry I let you down, and so then when we were looking at guests like last week, it was like, oh, Kelvin, like literally I seen it, so it was nice. He came over to my house in Wythenshawe and we sat around my table, which we've not done for a couple of weeks now.
No, it was good. I mean, yeah, he's such a genuinely lovely bloke, and he works hard, and he has done. I think he joined Emmerdale when he was like
young,
like 13, 14 maybe. It was so he's done, I think 10, 15 years on that maybe.
Yeah, maybe longer, because he's
longer.
I'm sure he says in the podcast he's 35, so
something maybe 20 years. So he's done it for a long time.
I can't remember him not being in Emmerdale.
No.
Not that I don't watch it that much, but he was always on at my grandma's house, and I always remember seeing him. He was like one of them. Yeah. He was like one of them faces. Like, when you think of Emmerdale, you think of him, and you think of like
Eric
Zach
Pollard.
Jingle. Yeah.
Eric Pollard's the one for me.
Yeah. Which one's he again? He's the
he's the grey-haired one. Yeah. So we got in touch with him after he let us down the first time due to work commitments.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do anything about that because he's massive. So we couldn't.
He is a big bugger.
Yeah. I think he's very, very solid. But now he plays for our charity team, the Once Upon a Smile football team. And yeah, he's just an all-round sound bloke, I think.
Yeah, he is
a lovely bloke, and I really enjoyed the chat as well.
Yeah, same. His subject was something that we kind of spoke about a little bit, I think, on Sally Carmen's episode. If you go and have a listen to that one.
Yeah. Episode 7 or 8 or something?
I'm not sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Like
I think it might be more than that.
Was
know.
It?
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, we spoke a little bit about sort of you've clicked the link, so his subject is cosmetic surgery, I'd say, in a way.
Yeah, like surgical enhancement.
Surgical enhancements, that's what we'll probably call
it. Surgical enhancements, i.e. lip fillers and boob jobs and, arse implants and fucking fingernail extensions. And I don't fucking know. Women are up to, and men are up to everything nowadays, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's one thing that we get across, again, in the podcast, that it's not just, ladies anymore. And again, we're not having a go at anyone who does it. It's just for Kelvin. He just doesn't really understand it. It's just a bit overrated to him. So we decided a new thing that we're gonna try out. Is just a few little facts about it, I guess. Not like anything too mad. So I'm gonna read out a few words, Tomo.
Okay.
And you've got to guess what it is. So, dermabrasion. What do you think? This has come up when I've googled.
What's dermabrasion? I have no idea. So something to do with hair implants or something?
Dermabrasion is a type of surgical skin planning typically performed in a professional medical setting by a dermatologist or plastic surgeon. So it's I think it's like,
so it's not any
it's like skin grafts and stuff. Fact for you, that's not on Google. My mum was the first person, I think, in Manchester or something to have a skin graft when she was younger. Yeah, she ran through a patio door and like sliced her finger and that.
Oh my god!
And she had to have a bit of skin from her bum put on her finger. So my mum's got a bummy smelly bum finger.
Right.
Another one that I came across while looking through here. Let me get it up on my phone because I thought this was brilliant. So I found an article from.
You're not going to read the full article. It's been the longest intro.
Yeah, from the British Broadcasting Company, little company. You might not have heard of them. The British Broadcasting Company.
Yeah.
And basically, this article, whatever they've asked, but the kind of, I don't know what the word is, that the people who where they've got the figures from, is called the British Association of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons,
which stands for
which abbreviated
for BAPS.
BAPS with two A's, but I thought that was brilliant.
BAPS.
The people who
that's like when you see a good P, like BAPS. Yeah.
So BAPS are the people who give you your BAPS.
Oh right,
which
nice.
I thought was funny anyway.
Yeah, it's an interesting fact.
There's a couple of facts about a subject we know nothing about.
It's all strictly from Google.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever thought of getting plastic surgery?
God, no.
No. You sure?
I can't afford it.
Yeah, it's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've not really looked into it that much.
No, I've never thought about it. I don't think I ever will.
Well,
but then again, like we touch on I've thought
if you
about
want to come and help Tomo out.
But no, like we said, we stress in the podcast that it's not we don't have any issues with people doing it, and if people look in the mirror in the morning and are happy with what they've got and what they've had worked on, then it's a job done. It's a success. If that makes them more confident and more happy, then so be it. And it's all down to you at the end of the day.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
With that said, we'll crack on with the podcast.
Yeah.
Again, thank
Welcome
you guys.
back.
Welcome back. Series 2, Episode 1. This will be the first episode of the second series, but I think it's like altogether like about episode 20 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has. And we're here with the amazing, magical man, Kelvin Fletcher himself. Get near your mic, Tomo.
Yeah, there we go. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while. We're a bit rusty. My headphones are doing me fucking head. But hiya, Kelvin. You alright, mate?
That's good to be here, mate.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having me.
We spoke a while ago, didn't we, when we was in Series 1 about getting you on, but then for a couple of
and this is the first episode of Series 2.
It is, yeah.
Kicking it off.
You're kicking it off,
Big pressure, eh?
I know, yeah.
Big to fill.
At the moment, we don't know when it's going to be out or anything, so it's all...
It's highly anticipated.
It's highly anticipated, mate. All over the world, people are waiting for this.
Teased every now and again.
But no, literally, what Andy just said, there is people all over the world that are listening, and it's
really, yeah.
It is crazy, yeah.
We've got listeners in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Russia,
it's mad, isn't it?
all over the world. We've got people listening, and I think we've just hit like nearly 70,000 listeners now. So
yeah, we're not far off, which is nice. Total listens, in it that. So that's with all of them built, but no, it's good, and it's good to have you on as our first guest to bring in the new series, mate.
Yeah.
And how have you been? What have you been up to?
I'm full of a course. If I sound like Barry White,
you're alright, mate.
I've just. I've got a new addition to the family. I've got a little boy now. He's 3 months old.
Nice.
So I've already got a 2.5-year-old daughter, and now I've got a little son. So my family life is
that's quite close together as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
really.
Pretty, we kind of not conscious effort, but naturally, we wanted to
do it close together.
Because then it can grow together as well.
But mates, and there's only 2 years between me and my younger brother. I mean, we're chalk and cheese. We're completely different, but we are like, it's my best mate. So he was my best man at my wedding, but then there's like a bit of a gap, a bit of a hiatus where mum and dad must have thought, we're done with kids, and then 13 years later they go again, and I've got a 13-year younger brother.
Right. But then that's good, because I guess you were babysitting him and stuff.
It's weird.
Free babysitters, isn't it?
I almost felt like I'd had a kid. When I was 18, 19, I was saying before about the football games, when we used to play in the charity football games, I used to take Braden along. So Braden was only like 5 or 6.
Oh, nice.
So this was before any of your kids as well?
Yeah, before any of my kids, So he was like my little shadow. I've been to festivals with him, and I took him literally everywhere. So
it's a good thing. I've got a little 5, he's 6 now, my little brother, and it's ace because you can take him out. You can feed him all the E numbers you want, get him sugar off his and then send him back. And then send him
Don't
back.
be that guy, man. Don't. I hate because like with my with my little girl, like it's always like go round to grandma's and they come home hyper and you're like, why did you do that?
I'm like, Mum, what have you given her?
Yeah.
Nothing, Kelvin.
I can tell you to her parents.
Wait until you're one though, mate.
It does make it, honestly though, I can always tell when she's had the sugar on anything because it's just, she has such a spike in her energy levels, and all of a sudden it's like it's crashing. You know, she comes down and she just nasty, horrible.
Oh, really?
That's what I was thinking of. But you know what I mean? All parents.
It drops, doesn't it? My little girl's is fruit shoots.
Oh, right.
Like she has a fruit shoot, and it's like when her mum has like a bloody wicked or something. Like she's just like woo for about half an hour.
Yeah. An hour. Like now though, even if I have a coffee.
What fruit shoot?
Fruit shoot.
Don't give Tomo fruit shoots.
No, like I try not to have like a coffee past sort of 5-6 o'clock.
I can't. Yeah, I'm
saying. I'm really restless from it. Yeah, but I have my coffee quite strong, so. But yeah, it's because you're just full of all that caffeine and sugar and it's. Yeah, just.
I get a bit like I don't know what the word is, like a bit. I feel like sometimes if I have a coffee, it's always before I go and sit on like the train or something like that. You know, when you're on the train for a long time. Yeah, a bit anxious and a bit like I just want to go woo. Like, I can feel it inside me, just wanting to like.
It's not good.
Yeah. Caffeine fucks me over. Like Red Bull. I remember I went skiing one year, and we were queuing up for like the gondola thing, and I thought, quit like the ski lifts, like you're on and off it. Yeah. So I went and bought, like I was hungover and that, so it was like a kind of a lad's holiday skiing. I went and bought like a Red Bull, just necked it, and I didn't realise I was on this little gondola thing for like 40 minutes. So I'm just sat in it like literally like itching to get out on this mat.
Just ticking over.
Literally like proper affects me caffeine. But yeah,
God, look at how much we've all grown up.
I remember when you was a kid though, mate, we couldn't give you sweets or anything. No. You were like, fuck, you were a fucking nightmare. Pardon?
How old are you?
Me? Yeah. I'm 28, 29 this year.
27.
Fucking hell, I'm old, man.
How old are you?
35.
35? That's not
You're alright, you're doing well. It's a good age to have kids. You look good, mate.
Dude, you look better than us.
You'll get better with age.
Yeah,
that's fine wine.
I'm a Capricorn.
No, I think it's I think it's a good age to have kids when you've had kids though, because you've sort of, like you said, you've done all your festivals and you've had your fun, and now when they're 18, 19, you'll still be old enough to go out and do all the things that they want to be doing as well, you know. So I think it's a good age.
I don't think there's any formula, you know. I've got mates who had, my mum and dad had me when they were like 19, 20.
Yeah.
And then I've got the opposite where I've got mates now in their 40s who are having kids. So, you know, there's no...
It's different, isn't it? Like some...
Whenever you're ready, isn't it?
It's always going to be a compromise. It's always going to be, you know, it's a massive... You've got to give a lot up. Do you know what I mean? You've got a young family. You have to make so many sacrifices.
Yeah.
But the old cliche is that, you know, it's worth it, isn't it? Like my little son at the minute, I think he's got colic. You know, he's up every night, and it's just, at times you're like, you know, you're absolutely shattered and your missus are arguing, but then all he needs to give you a little smile or a glimpse of just, and it's just like, it's worth it, you know.
Just makes it all worth it, yeah.
We are now sounding like proper wanky parents, aren't we?
No, well, I'm not. I'm sat over here. I can still go out till 5 in the morning.
me and my missus were actually like, not begging, but we're like, oh, come on, Tom, we'll have a kid. They've literally
just been sat there going, you and Charlotte having a kid yet? And I'm like, no, I don't want one. We've just got married, we don't have sex
we conceived in our wedding night.
Did you? That's fucking well nice. Yeah. Did you mean to? Like, was that not mean to, but was you trying?
No, he was drunk and he just fell into her.
No, not. I think it was me. It was. We did. Yeah, it was. I think during the day we'd kind of said. Because we wanted to wait for kids, waited till we're married to have kids anyway.
Yeah.
And I jokingly, I hope Mum and Dad don't listen to this podcast.
They don't live in Bahrain, do they? Because
they're living with us at the minute, but that's another story. I said, when we get back, I said, right, Liz, I said, we're married now, come on. And we did. Oh. And then we went on the honeymoon straight away. We got married in London and then went to Rome 3 days. We wanted to do something a little bit different and decided, honeymoon's supposed to be the time where you spend the whole time in the hotel room.
Sealing the deal,
and we didn't at all. That wasn't our thing. So it must have only been the wedding night. When was our honeymoon? Nice, we were tourists. We were out walking.
Me and Charlotte was pissed up on the beach for 3 weeks.
Seen it funny, like.
Yeah. No, that's nice. That though. It's a good time. It's people.
It's cute for your little girl as well, isn't it? Like obviously when she's older,
she gets sort of
like mum and dad's wedding was not weird to think, but also quite cute to think that. She came from a day of love.
Up until it was certainly the best day of my life.
Oh man, it's such like
it's class, isn't it?
When people say it's the best day of your life, you're like, yeah, I know it's going to be nice, but like It genuinely is the best day of your life. It was unbelievable. Just it's got to that point now in my life where I find it acceptable to tell my mates that I love them. I never really did it before. Because I was at the wedding day, I was like, I just fucking love you, mate. Thanks for coming. And now it's like, if I'd have told my mates that I loved them before the wedding, I think they'd have been like, oh, shouldn't we do?
Yeah, I think it's an age thing as well. Like, you get a bit older and you're like, fucking love you. If you say it when you're younger, you're like, oh.
You love me.
I did piece of advice from my dad before I got married, and he was like, Kelvin, I think he tried to hit home the significance of the wedding.
Yeah.
Which naturally, you kind of understand, but you don't really grasp. I didn't really grasp it until he said, you've got everyone here today who's like, your best friends, your family, all your loved ones, the people who have made the, biggest impacts in your life are in the same room at the same time. It says it only happened twice. It says it'll happen today, and the next time it happens, you won't be here.
Yeah,
and that just really hit home. And I remember then for the rest of the day, then I was just like, you're looking around, and it's never happened since. So since then, that was 3 years ago. I see my mates, and then you don't see each other. And it was the one time, we're all been together, friends who I've not seen for years, and suddenly you're all in the same room at the same time. Naturally, everyone's feeling great, and it's a celebration of
so beautiful.
But it's just amazing, So that was at the forefront of my thing.
That's some good advice.
Such brilliant advice. You never really think about that, do you? We got a bit
unless you get 2 or 3 weddings, then you
then you're all right.
One of our friends turned around to us who she got married last year, and she said that her and her wife, they made sure what they did is every sort of couple of hours, they said they took themselves away and just sat in the back of the room, even for 2 minutes, and just looked and just watched everybody. And like you said, just look at the people that you don't see in the same room at the same time, and just appreciate it. Just for 2 minutes, then you go off and have fun with everyone else, and then just do that. And we did that, and we did it a couple of times. And like you said, it was just beautiful to see everybody having the time of their lives,
and they're all
celebrating your day. It's such a beautiful thing, and I mean, getting married is so underrated, I think.
Yeah, man. I think like not as many people do it nowadays as years gone by now. It's expensive though, isn't it? Don't blame him. We're lucky enough to kind of do what we do and sometimes earn a fairly decent amount of money and stuff. So it's but like it's so even like doing that, it's so fucking expensive, isn't it? Like,
it's ridiculous, man.
But it is amazing. I remember the first thing I said the day after our wedding. I said to my missus, I said, I'd do that again tomorrow. I'd do that again.
I long for that day again every day. I just did for everything. But
which is why we married the women that we married, because you loved someone so much that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with someone. I genuinely I don't think I could ever do that with anyone else. I think it'd be weird. No disrespect to the people who I've got married.
No disrespect to the people that I'm gonna marry.
No. But I'm just. It just seems like such a weird thing to be able to do it again. Do you know what I mean? With someone different. I don't know. It's
strange, isn't it? It's a weird one, isn't it? Really.
But anyway, the subject wasn't marriage, kids, and numbers.
But it's a nice subject to start on. For our first episode back. At least it's not naughty stuff, which is how we ended the series last time.
God, Dave Allen. God, what a guy.
But so your subject, Kelvin, is well, at first it was Danny Miller.
Straight away he said Danny Miller.
So I said, what's your overrated subject? I said Danny Miller.
But then I said, let's get one that's not going to get you beat up.
Clearly, and Danny Miller is he's not he's incredible.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
I wind him up, because everyone thinks he's amazing, but he is.
I love his impressions in that he does.
He's so talented.
He's amazing.
I think this Danny Miller and Richard Fleischman are the two most talented people I know who are just they can do it. You're so envious of them in the company.
And
so Danny's an actor, but then his minute football, his accents, his impersonation of the people, he's just ridiculous.
Just being with him as well. He's one of the guys that you just you've got that mate that you just want a bit like you just enjoy spending time with. He's like that.
So I was struggling. So I nominated Danny Miller as a joke, and then I was like, I'm quite an upbeat. I'm pretty happy, and I don't really moan about anything. I know this is a. You two always say that you like to have a good moan and things, but I'm like, fuck me, I don't moan. So then I was struggling. I thinking, what can I suggest? And then I thought, a bit of tongue in cheek, and even though we just said, marriage, kids, is that overrated?
But then you realise that you've got both.
And then a few of my mates were kind of jokingly sending suggestions and that, and then I think with a bit of a think, I came up with surgical enhancements and plastic surgery and whatnot is quite a loose phrase, but yeah, now especially nowadays, and I think more females as well. You know, for these lip fillers and
yeah, I was going to say, do you like stuff like that? Is that counted in this? And
yeah, that's totally what it is.
Yeah,
and you know, obviously there is some forms of plastic surgery which is, you know,
needed.
Yeah, you know, and ultimately I think they all represent someone. If it boosts their self-esteem, makes you feel better about it, you know, then who am I to say that that's thingy? But for me, these beautiful young girls as well, you know, 16, 17, 18, early 20s, having feel the need that they're not quite where they need to be, and they go and get these injections, they end up with these fucking big you just think, and that look, some of them probably like that look, and I just think it looks,
it's not for me.
I honestly can't, really gets to me. I just think it's completely overrated. And
I mean, I do agree with you to a massive extent, like say, like, you know, more exactly what you're saying, like what grates me is them sort of young girls. Most of them who do it as well are actually like really pretty girls anyway. And then they do the lip thing, or I know people who like get like Botox in the face and they're like not 30 yet. And you're like, why are you getting Botox? Like, it's frown lines or something, it's not wrinkles. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that, and it's like, it's just, it confuses me because I just think you don't need it. Like, you're actually really, and lads as well, like you say, like, you know, there's a lot of lads out there who get, you know, a lot of, you know, things done, but I know of people who get like Botox as well, like lads, and it's like, what?
It looks fake as well. I'm thinking, you know, you're trying to look younger, but it looks like it's a blag. Like, clearly you had something, so you're not really feeling anybody.
Yeah,
you know, that's the thing, that you have these things to make it look like you've not aged by 10 years.
We know they're not your lips.
Yeah, so like, you know, it's not. But then again, I said this to my missus, like, well, you know, Kelvin, some people want to feel better about themselves. Something like you going to the gym, I was like, well, actually, you're probably right. You know, it's your own ego that you're always trying to, you know, and you want to be the best version of yourself. But it's just when you go to those lengths, you know.
Yeah, and it costs so much money.
If she gets older and feels that she has to go on.
That's it. That's the thing as well, because like, again, having a daughter, like, you look at things like and you think, right, okay, it's a trend at the minute.
It's part of society today.
Will it carry on? Will it revert, or what's it going to be like in, you know, 18 years time or something like that? Like, and they, you know, and it is scary because you.
Well, we'll all look the same, and the ones who have not had work will be the catch.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah, because it'll be like, oh, that's
me with my shit teeth and wonky eye. Like, here we go.
That's when you'll be remarried.
That's when I'm.
That's the second day when everyone's there.
But it is mad how people feel that need. I mean, it'd be like being in the public eye as well, where people go, do you not want to sort your teeth out, or did you never want to get your eyes straightened or anything like that? And it's never ever been something that I've ever thought about doing. I just embrace who I am. You know, I could go to the dentist and get them sorted out, but I just think I don't really see the point. But I do understand that people nowadays are under so much pressure. Especially on social media nowadays, that, you know, you're seeing all these people on The Only Way is Essex and Made in Chelsea, and they've all got like you said, they've got the facelifts, and they've got the big lips, and they've got the fake boobs, and they've got all these. I mean, Nicki Minaj has got all her ass implants, and you're seeing all these people who are the influencers of today. You know, like all these people with millions of followers on Instagram, and then young girls are going, well, I want to look like Megan McKenna, or I want to look like all these people, and they feel the pressure. And it's like, it's quite a sad reality, really, because they're brainwashing young kids.
And what they don't realise,
kids are getting brainwashed.
But then, you know, it's up to without the ones with a massive following, like Nicki Minaj. Obviously, I don't know the girl, but it's not really her fault either. She can do what she wants. The fact that she's got a big following,
she's an individual.
Then, you know, maybe certain things you have to toe the line and acknowledge. I guess like we all do. We've got, you know, a following, obviously, albeit a lot smaller than hers, but knowing that people are going to be maybe aspiring to you. But then, you know, let her just live her own life. And if people then feel not foolish enough, but, you know, want to go and copycat them, that's not her fault. That's just the life she's living, and she wants to have this surgery, whatever it is. But then it's that thing of the weakness in people that we're like sheep, where we have to, you know, there's nothing more attractive, more endearing than confidence. And
that's true.
That stems, you know, when someone's confident with themselves, like, so you said yourself there, you know, and if you're willing to think, well, you know, I'm happy as I am, then I think that is like, I'm in awe of that.
That's the most attractive thing.
Whereas, and you don't really see that now, because most people haven't got that self-confidence or whatever it is, and they feel the need, and they just like sheep and just do what the next person does to fit in. And you're like, no, just be a little bit braver. You know, and stand out.
That's it for me, because I've always been attracted to, you know, like that, exactly, like difference. I don't find sort of like, I don't know what's like. I like you said to me before, your fucking trainers that you bought are, but I love them, and I know that people are going to fucking look at them and go, fucking hell, mate, they're a bit loud.
Yeah. Even his wife was like, oh my god, you wasted money there.
I'm not going out with you wearing them.
But but the thing is like I like to go against the grain, and I prefer that in other people. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, all my mates and that are the people who kind of are a bit more against the grain and stuff like that. And I think it's scary, innit, how like saying people following, and then like you said, then with people like Nicki Minaj and that, and
I don't know how to pick on her. Let's not.
Oh no! I'm saying
she might listen to this.
Yeah. Well, you know, she lives in Bahrain, but you know, there's like exactly like you said though, like they don't choose to become role models. Like,
no, they're doing what they love doing.
And it's people who are following them, I guess, that are like putting them on that pedestal, making them the role models, but.
Yeah, you get such a hard time when you're at that level, don't you? Like Justin Bieber, he gets such a hard time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he's a young kid who got boosted into the limelight, and he does. You know, he's got all his tattoos, which I think there was a lot online about him getting loads of tattoos. Wasn't there? He was getting loads of stick for it, and all of the things that he does. There was the whole cut for Bieber and all that sort of thing.
Oh,
but
shit!
He didn't ask for any of that.
No,
He was just.
As a person, I'm not bothered. You know, his music that. Love Yourself, whatever song that is, it's one of my favourite songs of all time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just judge him on his music, his merit is his music artistically. If the guy's a numpty or so what? It's got nothing to do with you. He can live his own life.
What is it? Separate art from artist, innit? Like, you've got to, like, there's actors out there who I can watch and go, fucking, they're amazing.
Yeah.
But then, you know, like, you see him on interviews and that, you think,
he's a bit of a dickhead. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Tomo, you know, he's great in This Is England, but he's just not a nice person.
That's still one of my favourite films.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about that for next half an hour. I love
that. Mate, it's absolutely class film, mate.
Oh, nice, mate. Yeah. Well, again, going back to the subject, it's such a bizarre thing how the girls feel.
It's accessible as well, you know. Now it's so accessible. I think back in the day, where it was only like the rich and famous would have access to these with boob jobs but lip fillers. Whereas now, there's I live in Oldham. There's places in Oldham you can go do it.
Yeah, if you go over to like Poland and places in Turkey,
people do that, don't they, for breasts, like
breasts in it, and all kinds of things. They're going all over. Like, you know, I was flying home from Russia, and I went via Istanbul. And there was loads of people on the coach transfer. I remember looking around, and I must have seen 4 or 5 different people, all with patches on the noses, because they've gone over to obviously have the noses done over there because it's so much cheaper.
It's dangerous as well, though, right?
Well,
because apparently some of them are like because it's cheaper, it's quite dodgy and that.
Yeah, like backdoor. Yeah.
Why would you even chance that?
Well, I know I was going to say you won't be quick cars with that video, but...
And it don't. It can't. Like sometimes it can go wrong, can't it? Like after a while, you know, if you have like your breast implants or something, like one of them can.
Weren't they exploding?
Wrong. A couple of them was going wrong, and
wasn't there a big case like a couple of years back of them exploding?
It's the breast implants has not really been, sound like a creep here, but really grate on me too much. It's just these lips. It's these lips that I'm just like, what are you doing? You know, because big silly lips.
I think it's sucking on the top of an Oasis bottle, isn't it?
I think the thing is with that though is going back to being a bloke, like the boob thing, like that's something ingrained in us, like that's primitive.
We're horrible,
we like to, but I mean it's something that's
not necessarily big, just
evolutionary. We look at boobs because we are attracted to them, but lips. What's the I mean, you kiss lips, I guess, but like it doesn't look attractive. I don't know.
But I've never met anyone.
Yeah. I think it must do. They must look in the mirror and think and be happy with it, you know.
But I've never met a lad that finds that attractive. Like maybe
I've met most of my friends.
I was going to say,
on the stag do.
I've got a few mates who are obsessed with that fake look. You know that,
really?
like massive thingied eyebrows, or when someone's clearly had a load of work, and they love all that. I don't know if it looks a bit. They just love. Whereas I'd be the opposite. I'd want someone. Even makeup. I'm like when Liz wears makeup.
Yeah.
Liz just.
I'm the same. Yeah, like obviously my missus puts makeup on like when she's going out and stuff. But again, I'm not. Yeah, I prefer it natural. Like sometimes if she's going out like somewhere proper, she'll go and get her makeup done somewhere, and then she comes back, and I'm a bit like, prefer it when you just do it and just put a bit out, like, I don't know. I mean, like I say, each their own, like, if that's what they want to do, then
I think girls look naturally more, like, without any makeup, like, especially with Charlotte as well. It didn't go down very well when I told her that at the bottom of the aisle when she'd walked down as well. I didn't really say that.
What did you say?
No, I didn't say anything. No, right. I imagine, Oh, yeah, you'd look better without makeup, to be fair, Charlotte. Imagine that.
She had my miss was, before she was getting married, she had a few makeup trials where people were coming around and doing the makeup. Like, a couple of times.
Just trials?
I was like, I was like,
Charlotte had trials of trials, and then the trial of the trial of the trial. And
but I was like, Liz, you look like a bloke in drag. I said, you look like you're about to step out into birdcage or something.
Some of it
everything was so exaggerated, and I was like, Anyway, on the day, she I don't know if she did it herself or her mate did it, but yeah, she looked mint, But marriage again, we're obsessed with marriage, aren't we?
Just free married men, do you know what I mean? But I think for me as well, it's like it's the maintaining of it as well, like, I guess, because once you've kind of got something like that done, you've got to keep it up, haven't you? I guess, because then you will look fake, like because they go back, don't they? Your lips. They go back to normal, don't they, after a while?
You lose the collagen or whatever. Yeah.
So you've got to then keep doing it and keep. I find it fucking hard enough going to get my hair cut.
Yeah, I can't.
Do you know what I mean? There's some. I can't.
Yeah.
Small talking barbers just does my head in sometimes. My barber probably listens to this. Hi, Kale. But
he's fucking sick of talking to you as well.
It probably is. You know what? But yeah, it's just sometimes you're just like, I don't know. Sometimes I enjoy it and I want to go in there and I want to have a gab and that. But like sometimes I'm just like. I just can't think of anything worse today than acting anchor.
I had the most amazing. When I say I don't like having a haircut, I was in London a few weeks ago, and I walked past this Ted Baker
the grooming
store.
lounge.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
The one near Oxford Street, is it?
No, this was near. Was it down near Canary Wharf? I think it was like.
Is it?
Yeah,
so
I think there's a few of them. Yeah, and so I kind of stuck my head in and before I knew it, I'm sat down and I've got something. It was like 70 quid or something. I was like, what? I didn't realise what I was. I was like, I'll have everything.
The whole hot towel thing.
Yeah, I did. Then he's massaging my arm at one point. I was thinking
that's because you're so ripped.
I think he just fancied you.
No, seriously. And there was other guys doing it because as I'm sat there, I'm seeing other guys got this towel around his head's back, and next minute he's got his arm and he's judo chopping it, and and I'm thinking it's looking a bit erotic. This, I'm expecting a bit of a happy ending, and I was like, and then I'm getting a bit nervous, thinking, God, I'm going to cringe when he starts grabbing onto my arm, but. I was under this little blanket thing, so I thought, well, no one can see me, it's fine.
Yeah, no one can see you smiling.
I must have been in the chair for, 40 minutes, an hour, but I came out feeling brand new. It was just the most, and then I paid the bill and I was thinking, I couldn't have this every 2 weeks, it was amazing. I think it trimmed like my nose hair, which probably needs it, eyebrows.
They are looking
set my ears on fire. Yeah. That was a bit painful. Yeah, it sets like something on fire. It must be like a Turkish. Is it like is that the ethos?
I don't know.
There's like a cotton bud at the end of the little wooden spit thing, and then dabs your ear with it, and it just kind of burns your little layers. And maybe because I'm just really hairy, I don't know, but that's what I got.
So did you get the whole beard trim? I got
it all shaped up. Yeah.
I remember once I got approached by some PR company. They said, "Oh, will you come down to London and tweet about you going into this Ted Baker grooming thing?"
Right.
And I was like, they said, "Oh, they want to give you like your wet shave and your haircut," and I messaged them back like. I can't grow any facial hair whatsoever.
You're doing all right.
I get a little bit at the bottom. And I said to him, I was like, I'm going to be wasting the time sitting in that chair. I said, there's no point. So I'll just go do it anyway. It's fine. It's like a relaxing an experience. And I sat down and the bloke kind of looked at me lip and he was like looking at me like,
he's
like, yeah, what do you want me to do? I was just like, yeah, but I can't do that. But I like the... one of my friends, he's got like a really short beard and it's just like really shaved and all that. But again, that goes back to... He gets that done probably every 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know whether he feels like he needs to do it all the time. Don't get me wrong, he looks good for it, but it's just...
I wish it's something I could maybe put into my schedule because I felt so good that day. It's almost like every other Monday, I don't have my schedule's always all up and down. But my mate, I'm so envious of him because every other Monday, at 10 o'clock, he goes to the barbers and that's his time.
Every Monday?
Every other Monday, yeah.
Yeah, I've got...
And it's a schedule with 6 to it and getting his haircut and I'm like, how could you do it? I'll get mine when it gets so bad, I'll think, right, I need to get it done.
Yeah.
It could be 3-6 months easily.
Same. I'm like, sometimes my hair gets so long, like I'd get really angry at myself. I'm like, just fucking go to the barbers.
I go when Charlotte tells me to.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like at the minute, my hair's short because I'm on a job. That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, other than that, I normally have it like stupidly long. And
you'd think it'd be the reverse way around, like because, like you said, with what you do and what we do, like, people might come over to us in the street and say hello and want a photo and stuff. You think it'd be us that
immaculate all the time.
People think it'd be us that do that, but I'm not really that bothered. I went to the. I went to the football yesterday on Saturday with my dad, and Charlotte dropped me off, and I forgot my coat. I've got a big warm coat to go to the football in, and I left it in the car. So I had no coat, and I was going to on a Saturday afternoon, so it's pretty cold. And I said, Dad, have I got any of my old coats here, like from when I used to live here? He was like, oh, I don't know, mate. The only one that he had was it was one that I bought from Turkey, an Armani exchange one from Turkey when I was 12. It was massive. It was the worst coat I've ever worn. And then as soon as I got there, as soon as I got sat down, one of the young kid from the club, he came over and said, oh, will you come and just do this like Grimsby Town vlog thing on camera? And I'm there in this fake thing, hung over with my hood up, with my hair everywhere, shitty stubble. And I ended up having to do this thing. But like you say, you'd think it'd be the other way around, it'd be us that want to be immaculate all the time and get all this stuff done. And
I think you've got to be a certain kind of person, haven't you? I think, because I know people who do that. I know people who, like, you know, want to look the best all the time, want to look fucking cool and stuff. And
I'm so uncool, it's a joke.
The thing is like,
honestly, I'm so uncool, it's silly.
I get it though, because when you do put a brand new pair of trainers or a nice coat on or something like that, you do feel mint, and you can see or you go and get your hair cut, fucking beard shaped, or like you say, like, you do feel mint. So maybe that, again, like going back to it, like, you know, when a girl gets her lips done or whatever, like, that's what, like, they're going, right, I'm buzzing, I feel on top of the world, I feel mint.
That's it. And if it makes them feel better, it boosts their self-esteem, when they're happy, they look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm so glad I did that, I feel so much better, I've got more confidence. Then who am I?
Then it's job done.
To say, well, that's the thing. So it was all that thing of when you ask me to suggest something, it's overrated. I'm thinking, oh, well, you know, who am I to say?
But that's the thing, mate.
But yeah, like, I know it's not.
Like, we're not saying, like, we do this a lot with guests. Like, we're not here to sit and slag people off. Like, it's one of them. It's like, it's overrated because it's just not for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, when we first kind of came up with the concept, it was like, I'd say football, and he gave me about 2 hours worth of stick for saying football, but it's just not for me. And I know that people fucking love it, but I just can't see why, and it's the same in this, like,
but you can still sit and enjoy it. Like, you'll go to the pub, like, say, for the World Cup. Like you said, like, you've got nothing against it. Like Kelvin was saying, he's got nothing against the whole plastic surgery and the enhancing things, and you know, it's just a topic of how you feel, isn't it? Yeah,
it's just not for you. It's so, and I guess, like, the fact that a lot of people are doing it nowadays, and it's kind of become a social norm, which is quite worrying in a way, because like you say, you know, a lot of these young girls and that are doing stuff to their bodies that
looks good on Instagram,
isn't tried and tested. Do you know what I mean? There's stuff that's going in the lips. Who knows, you know, 20 years down the line what it could do or whatnot, because it's only been around for a little while, hasn't it? And then two, they're doing stuff to the bodies that their body doesn't need yet anyway. You know, putting anything in your body that's not natural can't be good. Do you know what I mean? Smoking or anything, drinking anything other than water, I guess, really
still do it,
shouldn't do it. Yeah, people still do it, exactly. But yeah, like you say, it's just that thought of, you don't need it yet. If you're 60 and you're proper wrinkly and you want to get rid of it all or whatever, like,
even then I'd be thinking, but you're 60, you maybe 60. Exactly. You know, you're not going to look 20, love, no matter how much stuff you have on.
Is it Pamela Anderson though? Have you seen her recently?
No.
I think I saw her on Piers Morgan Live Stories.
Right.
She's still amazing.
Yeah, she still is beautiful. But I mean, again,
she's had a lot. She was one of the first ones. From what I can remember when I was a child.
I think plastic surgery goes back quite far.
Of course,
I think, like, big film stars back in the day. Like, I think she was like Marilyn Monroe maybe and stuff.
Because for me,
I don't know. I don't know whether I've just made that up, but like, I think it goes like that far back. Like back in the day, you had.
I think because it's now the big stars. Before the accessibility of it, everyone's doing stuff. Like today. I could go, say I went to Trafford Centre today. I absolutely guaranteed to see someone walk past who's had, you know, who's not rich and famous, who's not famous, who's had some sort of a little.
Yeah, because I remember, like,
it's so easy to look perfect nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, it's not easy because it costs a lot of money, but you know, I know people who look perfect. And it's like, you've got no flaws about you whatsoever, and it's like,
and it can be to me, it could be a lazy way out, because I'm a big lad. And there has been, because I struggle a lot with my weight and that every now and again. Like, I think, fuck, I want to lose weight, but it's just hard, because I just like kebabs. But but you know, there is times where I'll go, do this, like, fucking get liposuction. I have actually thought, go, fuck it, just do that. Like, cost whatever. Like, I'll save up, I'll do it. But then I go, nah, that's the easy way out, man.
It's easy.
Go to the gym, earn a bit of
mentality. I don't think you'd have that satisfaction as you would if you would to train and commit yourself. And think,
the mentality, the mental well-being you get from going to the gym is insane.
Yeah, that's more than the
that's
physical.
So underrated. What people don't realise is how good that is for you.
Or exercise in general.
Exercise in general. If you want to go running, five-a-side badminton or anything. It's so underrated that people just like you said, might think of the easy way out.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Because like you say, and sometimes I do find a degree of sadness in that as well. Like sometimes, lads as well, but like girls, like you say, especially like feel like that's what they need to find someone who
is the more pressure
who
on
fancy them, I guess. And it's like you don't like. I like say a lot of lads that I know prefer that natural. When it gets down to it, prefer that natural.
Is there more pressure on women more pressure on women to do it than there is for men? Then
I think nowadays it's a bit.
I don't know. I think it's just as. It sounds like there's always more pressure on women, but I think guys must feel it as well. Do you know what I mean? They must. Every guy you see on Instagram is mostly absolutely chiseled, ripped up.
Speak for yourself, mate.
No, but I guess I train. I never really sit down and ask myself why do I train.
Yeah, I was going to say why. Good. What made you want to train?
No, just
because I remember obviously from watching Emmerdale from when I was younger. I remember obviously your character and you've never been like. You've never been out of the ordinary, but then I remember watching it a couple of years later and looking at it going, fucking Jesus.
You just became a beast all of a sudden, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because when you were a mechanic in Emmerdale as well.
Farmer,
that's it, of course.
So everyone kind of says, but it's weird, I went through my adolescence in Emmerdale. So, you look back at pictures and you remember going to school. My mate we always called him the pubic warrior. And he literally arrived, it felt like overnight, he had a beard and his voice had broken. And it seems that's changes. Whereas I did that, but I did it on TV as well. So people think that overnight I just literally thinking, well, it's a bit of a gradual process really, where I started training. And TV always makes you look a little bit bigger anyway. And then I think it was like the odd scene where I'd have my top off and suddenly I had these little muscles and people were like thinking, oh my God, where's that come from? It was there. It can't happen overnight, once training or whatever. But if I'm always in overalls and big baggy t-shirts, you're never really going to see it. And then suddenly they have a scene where I'm
in the
barn.
Looking around what is called bales of hay.
Bales of hay. Sledgehammer over his shoulder.
But I'd played sport a little bit when I was a teenager and stuff, and I think when I was playing rugby and that weights were being introduced as like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, then the lads start because they want you to be bigger and stronger and and then for me it was a bit of a social thing where a few of my mates who did play rugby, and that was sport that I was obsessed with. I loved it. But I was an actor, I didn't really play it. Certainly not at no level then. When I was on TV on Monday morning, I couldn't stop playing. And that was the thing that you went to the gym. I think I got my first membership when I was 16 at what gym was it? It was around the corner. Was it not JJB gym or something?
Oh right, okay.
And it was like 40 quid a month. I remember signing up with my mum. I was 16 and I was just buzzing. It had like a sauna and it was a sense of independence where suddenly I'm going to be able to go to the gym on my own. It's probably different now, but back then it was a huge thing. I set up a direct debit for my mum's account and she was going to pay, and it was just like, it was massive. And then I could go that week. My mate might have been 20, 25 at the time, so he, I idolised him and I went doing the weights with him. We'd do dips or whatever it might be, kind of slowly. And I just used to feel, you see little changes in your body, you look in the mirror and you suddenly get a little muscle or whatever it might be. Vanity reasons, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're losing weight,
or if you're losing weight,
just mentally as well.
Exactly. It was a social thing. I'd go there, hang out, and it gave me a sense of independence and a sense of there's nothing better than to see someone progress. See, I'm all about progression, mate, and that's a visual, easy progression to see. You want to progress from job to job, or maybe you start off. I was an extra and then I got a speaking part and then you get a bigger part and you want to progress naturally. That was the gym where I'd start 6 months later. I only I could pick up a 10 kg dumbbell as opposed to a 7 kg dumbbell, whatever it might be. And that sense of progression it's brilliant. You really feel like you're doing something and that's for me what the gym represented. And then it carried on and then certainly it's never been a time where I look and think, I need to be this, I need to be that, I need to be bigger or I just like training,
and for us as well as actors, I guess, because
your body's your office, isn't it?
Well, but I mean, as well, it's like it it's so easy when you when you're doing Emmerdale and that, you might have a couple of days off or something. So easy to sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
Where like if you're at the gym, at least you're doing something with your day, aren't you? You like again, going back to like mentally, you just feel right. Okay, I've achieved something today or whatever, and then like say you look in the mirror, you see them changes in that, and it. But it's definitely that's the like that going back to that. It's the better way of doing it. I think some people like say go for the easy way out or whatever.
There's no better feeling I think than like what you say when you notice difference, and when people say like if someone sees you go fucking hell I ain't seen you for a while, and they go looking well mate, you've lost a lot of weight, and that is enough. You think actually that's enough that and someone once said to me that they said when do you fancy coming to the gym, and I was like I can't really be arsed, so I don't really feel very well, and he said if you can tell me one time you've walked out of that gym and felt worse than you did when you walked in, and it's like you never ever do. You never ever walk out of that door feeling worse than you did when you walked in.
It's just fucking endorphin central, isn't it? Like it is so
brilliant. I love it, and now I feel like not that I feel like I need to do it because I don't want to sound like I'm some cliche bodybuilder.
No, but it is like when you don't go,
you do.
Your head, doesn't
it? Because I started going because I was drinking a lot, and I had a lot of anxiety, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do in my life, and I felt like I was in a bit of a rut, and because I would put a lot of weight on, and I started going to the gym, and I lost like 2.5-3 stone, and now because I was in such a habit of going and feeling better about myself, now if I'm eating shit and I don't go, I'm like I feel so bad for not doing it. Do you know what I mean? And when it becomes part of your life, it's such an enjoyable thing, and your mentality needs to stay that way, which is good, I think. Yeah, defo.
It's easy to fall out of it though as well.
So easy, yeah.
It is
like
so
you're saying there, like if all it takes is like one sort of like, should we go out tonight? Yeah, go on then. I won't go gym tomorrow.
You've got a couple of days off,
and then then you're like.
But if you've got a sauna and a pool at your gym, you can
just go there.
You can go there, and even if you just swim for half an hour, that's still good. Do you know what I mean?
I have consistency is the one with training. I think I have times when I don't go for weeks on end, and but then in hindsight, looking back, it's probably quite because then when I do start going again, it's almost like I get a surge of
wow, this is
I really see a change straight away. So I think over the year, over a 12-month period, I probably only trained about 9 months or something. I didn't train at all in November, December when I was doing a show. So I didn't train at all then, but I got back on the wagon again when I knew I had to be taking my kit off on a charity thing. So I was like, I want to be looking,
get in there.
How vain is that to be, But
I mean, again,
it's just about you wanting to be the best you, isn't it?
And we live in a world, like you say, we do live in a world now where you're constantly surrounded by, like you say, good-looking people on Instagram, whether they be male or female, and
everyone's beautiful on Instagram now. It does my head in. Honestly.
Well, I must admit, I've put a few of those filters on myself and thought, hello, who's that? Pretty amazing, some of them I'm thinking, fuck it, I'm looking alright there.
Sometimes you can't
catfishing absolutely everybody, but I'm not bothered.
You're married now, don't matter.
Exactly,
But that's what the world's about now, isn't it? That's like you say, but it's a weird world, isn't it, social media. We were sort of touching on it earlier on, weren't we, before we were recording, like it's such a strange world in terms of like
what people feel that they need to be.
And that's got to have something to do, like that's got to have something to do with that.
Everyone looks so perfect. Like I said, on my Instagram, don't get me wrong, if I take a good photo, I'll be like, oh, actually, I'll put that on. I look decent. But then a lot of the time, mine's just me in my dressing gown with burgers all over my face. It's like, I don't personally feel that pressure. But because going back to what I said before, I'm comfortable in the way that I am. But there must be girls now that scroll through and go, oh my god, why can't I look like that? And then they go, actually, for $5,000, I probably can get my lips done like that. And it's that sort of.
Because like you say,
everyone's so perfect on there.
It is cheap and it is accessible now. Like I remember still when I was younger, and like boob jobs and stuff were just so like, it was what like soap stars did, or it was what TV stars or film stars did. And like now, like you say, like I can go in the pub and like there's girls where I'm chatting to them, whatever, and like my missus will go, oh, did you know she's on a boobs or whatever? And I'm like, fucking what? Really? Like, she works in fucking whatever, like, because it is it's so cheap now, it's so easily accessible. It's
mad, isn't it?
It's only going to get more like that, I guess. Because there's everything now, isn't there? Like the shit that like you don't even think is a thing now. There's like eyebrows.
People getting done,
tattooing eyebrows.
That I heard.
someone had got their eyebrows tattooed on. I was like, so what happens when the fashion changes?
Yeah.
And instead of having night ticks as eyebrows, people are having something really thin, but you've got them tattooed on your face.
Yeah.
It's like you've sort of shot yourself in the foot there.
And lips tattooed.
I've seen that. Yeah. Oh, what, a line on?
Yeah.
What?
I think that's the thing, I'm sure.
Really?
Like just to enhance the little line.
Oh, right, okay.
Like I'm some lip connoisseur, I'm just...
No, but that's the
you
thing.
See me next week in a couple of weeks, I'll have like the biggest juiciest lips on, and you were like going away, can you look really well? And you're walking away saying, fucking hell, my lips are already big as it is, so if anything, I think I need to have my lips shrunk.
That's maybe why this is your subject. Everyone's jumping on your fucking bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the one with the lips, just chill out, But saying that, I think Angelina Jolie did Tomb Raider, and she had like the most beautiful lips.
Yeah,
like, they were really like, just dead voluptuous and thingy. Whereas now it's just gone a complete different. Obviously, it was I think natural, but
yeah. Well, with it, again, you don't know again but that would have been back in the day where it would have been a bit more exclusive to her, I guess.
Yeah.
But again, because that's it. It's people going, I want to look like Angelina Jolie. I want to look like. It's like, just look like you. Like you're beautiful, no matter who you are. Like, male, female, whatever. Like you. Find, I think anyway, personally, like find your niche.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's that corny thing that The Rock says in that Fighting With My Family at the minute. He goes,
I've not seen that.
He says, "Don't go out there." What's it? Why do you want to be the next me? Why don't you go out there and be the first you?
Yeah,
is what he says
in the trailer,
which is corny. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, and one of the girls in it says that's not motivational. That's just a tweet, is what she says in it. But it's so true though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get why everyone wants to look the same.
Yeah.
Because I think again,
there's safety with that, isn't there?
Yeah,
because, you can hide with that when you're the same. If you stand out, some people are not brave enough to stand out.
Yeah. The whole thing of this film is that the Fighting My Family is Paige, who's the wrestler who went over to America, and she was quite gothy. She had really black hair, and she was kind of.
Is it a true story as well?
Yeah, it's based on a true
story. Welsh family, something like that.
From Norwich.
Norwich, all right.
Norwich. So she's really small, and she's not. Like, she hasn't got abs, and she's not got fake boobs, and she goes over to America, and there's these wrestlers who are beautiful, and it's like that sort of that contrast. And she then goes and dyes her hair bleach blonde and does all the things that she thinks that she wants to do to fit in with everyone. And in the end of it, she's just like, no, actually, bullshit. That's not me. This is who I am. And then in the end of the film, she ends up goes and now she's like one of the
big stars.
She's a massive star of the WWF,
WWE,
whatever it is. But I think that film now is so important for what young girls are going through.
Well,
which is a brilliant film. It's amazing.
And going from that, I guess, because like we're all sort of from smallish sort of northern towns, and I remember like being the kid. Like I say, I was always like slightly going against the grain. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember like everyone around my mates used to wear like trackies and were like scallyish, and then I started wearing like big like hip hop clothes and stuff like that. But like I think that's a mentality of like a small town, because I remember the first time I went to London. And like someone got on the tube with like green like dreads, and nobody else was looking at him. I was like looking at him, going fucking hell, like expecting everyone to be kind of looking, going, who the fuck's this? But no one was, and I was like, oh, I like that, like because
you can literally wear what you want in London.
You can do whatever, and it's and I think that is part of it, innit? Because like everyone sort of from like where I'm from anyway, are always constantly following that trend because. Like you said then, they're scared of sticking out. Where in places like London, like bigger towns like that, you can see that individuality a bit more, and nobody bats an eyelid at it, and it's
everything changes to suit what's going on in that day, doesn't it? Like fashion, the words that people use, the things that people say, the slang, and everyone's just the same, aren't they? You get these groups of lads who are all saying the same things, or wearing the same clothes, and it's like. Yeah, I've never been one of them. I'd say I've worn the same fashion and had the same haircut since I was probably 15.
Yeah, I've still got the same t-shirts I wore when I was 17.
Oh, really?
They're
still fit you?
I was going to say, tighter, but still wear them. I went through a stage where I was I used to love like Vivienne Westwood, and I used to spend loads on clothes and that. Whereas now, if the t-shirt's more than 20 quid, I will not buy it.
I think that's
kids, it's sensible as well. He's having kids in it because you think, you think, I would have bought that years ago, but like, I've got got to pay for like dinner money and stuff and shit like that. Like kids.
Yeah, I've got fucking window cleaners collecting his money on Friday.
Yeah, I've never got any cash with window cleaner calls. It's the most embarrassing. I always said to myself, I've never got any cash in the house. It comes. Can I pay next week? I'll pay. I think my fucking bill's up to about £200 or something. I paid it for about 6 months.
I had it with my window cleaner. So we had one knock on. Must have been about a year or so ago. And he said, starting up around here, like, just fancy doing your windows. And I went, look, I said, can I pay by bank? Yeah. Like, can he was like, yeah. Or he had it on his card, like, can pay paid by PayPal or whatever, direct debit. So I was like, buzzing, mint. Suited me to a T, because I never have cash.
No one has cash on.
So I was like, fucking brilliant, suited me to a T. And then about 4 months in, someone knocked on. Window cleaner, can I have the money? I was like, oh no, I pay it like through thingy. Oh no, I've took his round over. So I was like, all right, can I not switch the bank, pay you like that? And he's like, no, cash. I'm like, fuck's sake, like, why everyone doing that now? Yeah, it's tax in it, but like, why everything should just be that now? My garden, because I've got like garden, that's £20 a month, £20 a fortnight.
£20 a fortnight?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I just think, well, you've got a fucking massive garden. I don't want going out there cutting grass, mate.
Why not?
Because, as I said before, I'm fat and lazy. I'm sat inside with a doner kebab watching him like that.
And he's on the telly, he'll get someone else to do that for him.
But no, the truth is, I don't look after shit. So we bought a lawnmower when we kind of first moved in, and spent about £150, £200 on it. I don't know if that's expensive for a lawnmower, but it was a decent lawnmower. But after about a month or two, I left it out, and like I'm just shit at looking after stuff like that. Like tools, like I've got about 5 drills, because every time I need a drill,
you just go and buy one.
I don't just go, but like I use it and then I just lose bits, and I lose this and lose that, and I just And I'm not good with shit like that.
And the most un-DIY-y man.
Same, yeah. I can do bits.
I bet you're quite a hands-on bloke, aren't you?
No. I've done a few little things, but
I can't put shelves up, or like we've got Charlotte's mum coming round tonight to put photos up on the wall. I can't do shit like that. Yeah.
But you know what's weird now? What you can do now is go on YouTube and literally type in how to put a photo.
Yeah.
And you'd get step by step, and you'd be amazed of how many things you can.
Yeah.
A mate of mine who's a jobbing actor he was out of work for a while, and he needed a few things in his house. And he was like, I'm going to do it. And I was like, honestly, yeah. So he did his tile and bathroom, did everything. I said, how have you done all that? He said, I went on YouTube, I went give over. So I typed something in, like, how to put a new lock on your door, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And there was literally tutorials there that are so easy to follow. And before you know it, you're a fucking tradesman. You're looking at I mean, I won't go as far as doing
this acting shit.
Yeah. Well, I won't start charging people, because I don't know if I would never go that far. Because it's like we're painting, we got a decorator in painting and stuff, because me and my missus could do it. We've done it before, but you get a guy in, it's proper, it's
done proper.
I can see the faults when I do it.
And that's your office, isn't it? So you can kind of put that through your books,
Yeah,
when it comes to your tax returns and stuff.
Well, up until when some little daughter draws in it, something like that.
No, but I'm the same. Like, I'm just not fucking. I can do bits. Like, I've made in there. Like, looking at I've made bits in that, and I can't. If it's creative, I'm all right at it. So we've got like a door there with like pictures on that we had at our wedding and that.
Oh, right.
It's like that shabby chic shit.
Yeah.
And I did that, but it's creative. Do you know what I mean?
And it looks good, that.
Well, yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
There, look, you see that there?
Oh, wow,
it's all right, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Because that's what you had all your table.
I had my table plans on it. Yeah, it's an old door. I've chopped it in half. It's not even an old door. It was brand new, but I've made it look old. That's what you do. It's shabby chic. So you paint it, you knock it about and that, but it was creative, so I don't mind that. But I'm with you on that, T. Like putting pictures up and shit. If it's like a little task, like, but then because I'll do it and I can do it, but then I'm looking at it going, it's a bit wonky that. Constantly looking at it.
Do you know what?
Painted in the living room, and I can see little streaks of paint that I just look at and I think, I hope she don't see it.
It's quite handy that in a small community though, you know someone who can come up and play your door for you, or you know someone who can come and sort your shower out for you. So I've got I need a tyre change, so I know a mechanic. You've got all these little things, so I know someone who can do everything. But then I sit there and I go, what the fuck can I do for them?
Go in and recite them some lines.
Retweet some of them.
Fucking DJ christening or something. I don't know. I can't do anything.
All I ever get asked to do is, Kelvin, can you tweet this for us?
Yeah. But you know what?
Fucking charity thing he's doing. I'm like, okay, go on.
Sometimes it's worth waiting gold. Like if you've got a mate who's got like a little trade, and he's got his own company or something. It's helping out, mate.
I've got fuck all about me. I can't do anything. Maybe do a short film for your nana or something. But
get on YouTube the next time, you know.
Yeah, all right.
I'll stand the door or whatever it might be. Just type in YouTube, you'd be amazed.
What I've got dead into nowadays, right? And think of it what you will. Like my missus' sister. It's on Instagram.
Where's this going?
I'm not getting to her. Me and Mrs. Sister started just out of nowhere, just became like a proper clean freak and just started like doing like mad things, and we're like, nesting. We're like, where have you got this? Oh, it's Mrs. Hinch.
Yeah. My missus is obsessed with her.
So my missus started watching her. My missus got obsessed with her.
Well, she just had a kid.
I started watching.
She's just had a kid though.
And she just had a kid.
So let's see how fucking clean that house.
Yeah. That's it. When you've got kids, mate.
That's the challenge now.
But no, I love it. And have you watched any of them?
Oh yeah, we've got all those fucking sponges.
We've got sponges, Zaflora.
I'm sat here watching YouTube, get excited like fuck. I'm really good on FIFA.
Do you know the thing is because I do that, like I go into like YouTube holes if like I want something doing, I'll go right, have a look, and then you just fall into a hole. But with this one, like she just does like little hints and tips, like in the cushions there now, in every cushion there. We did this yesterday. I've got dryer sheets, scented dryer sheets in all my cushions.
It smells lovely.
It smells like fucking moonflower and lavender
look, she's got massive, so she's got millions of followers now, and now she's kind of endorsing products. She's like huge, but again, the power of social media, the greatness, she's a normal woman, and brilliant. She's by sound of it. She's a proper clean freak, loves clean. I loved it when my missus discovered that, because I'm immaculate. I mean, I like everything to be clean and thing. With my missus, the messiest.
Charlotte's a nightmare.
She's not domesticated at all. So suddenly she discovered this one, Miss Hinch, what she's got, and then started cleaning. So I'm secretly loving it, thinking, man, this is quality. She's now started cleaning. So our kitchen smells nice, and I've been longing for her to do that for ages. Normally it's just left up to me to everything,
Me and my missus, like, we're both quite neat freaks and that, but we've got kid, got one on the way, and then we've got dogs. Yeah. So like our thing is like sometimes I think, the house smells a dog, or how do we need, you know what I mean? But yeah, YouTube, man, or stuff like that. Like say, it's the place to
go. Is it Miss Hinch? Mrs. Hinch?
Mrs. Hinch on Instagram.
I'll have a gander because Charlotte's a nightmare, mate. She's like, to be fair to her, she works 45 hours a week, 50 hours a week in a nursery with, I think she has 8-9 kids at a time, and she's stressed.
The last thing she's going to want to do when she gets home.
And I do get it, but she's just messy, and it does my head in.
But last night,
exactly.
Yeah, no, but and I do clean. I'm quite clean. But last night she really freaked me out. So I was sat there and I was watching Legend, and I just heard the Hoover go on. I was like, "What the fuck's that?" I was like, "Whoa, who's in my house?" So I'm looking at, and then Charlotte's over in the kitchen, and I saw her moving stuff around, and she come into the front room. Next thing, she's got the wipes out, she's cleaning the banister, she's sorting the bathroom, and I'm like, hang on a minute, what the fuck's going on here? This isn't Charlotte. And everyone was saying to me that she's nesting. Is that what?
Okay, I nearly tweeted you, but thought, best not scare
and loads of people said she's nesting, so I sat her down, I was like, right, Charl, talk to me. I said, are you pregnant? She's like, no, I'm not. I was like, alright, fine.
That is a thing though. The nesting normally comes in when they're like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months pregnant.
Yeah, my missus is kind of there now.
The sex is stopped, so I'm like, what's going on?
It starts randomly saying, can you make me some crackers and banana?
Can you get me some ice cubes out of the freezer? And it freaked me out, the fact that she was cleaning up, but I hope it's a thing. I hope she starts tidying up a little bit.
Well, Mrs. Hinge, we're giving her a great plug.
I know, I mean, she's got more followers than all of us put together, hasn't she now, bless her? But that ties everything off nicely, mate. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on, mate.
For coming on and chatting.
Thank you.
There we go, Kelvin Fletcher.
Yeah, end of episode 1, series 2.
Yeah, I can't believe we're doing it all again.
I know, we're back.
Excited. We've got some good stuff planned as well, haven't we?
Some brilliant stuff planned. We've been sitting and brainstorming loads, haven't we? So
looking at places to stay in London and things like that and stuff, and
potentially a couple of live.
Yeah, that's
podcasts
one thing
we've been thinking about. So
hopefully on a future podcast we can give you some dates.
Yeah.
And if you
venues
exactly if you are a venue and you work in a venue or run a venue or whatever.
I was going to say, if you are a venue,
if you're a venue, can we be inside? Can we be in you? But no, if you work at a venue or whatever, or you know someone who does, and you think, oh, that'd be good to get them lads up and that. Let us know on Twitter at Overrated Everything Pod. Is it on Twitter?
At Overrated Everyone.
Overrated Everyone on Twitter. Yeah, that's it. At Overrated Everyone. Get us on there, or you can get us in the reviews section. We always read the reviews, which we thought would be quite a nice thing to read out at the end of each podcast. Now, a couple of reviews. So if you guys go on, write your review.
Because it helps us as well in terms of, getting our podcast out there. A lot of people read reviews. So if you can, say some nice things about what we do, or anything, if you've got anything bad that we can possibly, change, then keep that to yourself, because we don't care. It's our podcast. No, but, all your constructive criticism as well, because we're learning as we go on, aren't we?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's some on here that there's some 5-star reviews, which is really nice.
That's from my dad.
Yeah, there's a 1-star there. That's fine. We'll take that on board. So yeah, let's read a few out, I guess. We've got great podcast. This is I'm from South Yorkshire. I'm guessing he's from South Yorkshire.
Yeah, maybe.
Overrated Everything is absolutely great. Down to earth lads, Thomas and Andy, who seem to get great and interesting guests to chat to. Goes off on great tangents and at times are hilarious. I love listening to this. Was my first ever podcast listening experience. After being a huge fan of This Is England and other pieces of work the lads have done, waiting for them to start up again. Well, we're back here. I'm from South Yorkshire.
Lovely review, that.
Yeah, it was really nice, and that's something that we at times worry about is us going off on tangents and stuff and that.
Yeah, because we don't have chats and shit.
Well, that's enough. Here we go. There's another review here. See, this is how, I guess, how fickle the world is now. So someone's downloaded to listen to Dave. I don't know if he means Dave Allen there or David Firth.
Yeah.
Reckon Andrew spoke for 60 to 70% of this podcast. I like you both, but you've let your guests speak more. It's not the Andrew show. Yeah, you're right. PAS 81B76 sounds like a robot. It does, like someone out of Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would think that. Not a human in the right mind.
But no, I mean, we'll take that on board. That's constructive criticism.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
And
like I say, we want, we started this off our own back, and we're not professionals in this.
Yeah.
So we are sort of, chipping away at it to become better.
Yeah. So, and I think sorry, I'm doing it now.
You're doing exactly what he said. Fucking, I'm going to get Andrew Shimmin.
I think one of the things is like me and Tomo do always say that we're not an interview podcast. We're not a podcast where we go and interview someone. Yeah. We have guests on and we have a chat.
Yeah. I mean, there was great podcasts out there for that.
Exactly.
Like there's a 2-shot podcast with Craig.
Scroobius Pips,
Distraction Pieces. With that. Whereas ours is very, very conversational. But like you say, we'll take your comments on board, and
100%.
We'll work to improve what we've got. And Series 2, we've got some huge guests lined up.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, these people are ridiculously busy, constantly travelling the world. So trying to track them down in one trip, it can be proved quite difficult. But we'll keep trying.
We'll get there.
We'll get there in the end.
But yeah, so again, thank you very much for listening. We hope you enjoyed Kelvin's chat. And we hope you learnt something. And if you didn't, we hope you just had a good time, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and on to the next one next week.
Yeah, see you next week, guys. And yeah, that's it. Bye now.
Peace out.